Recording is being started. So, hello everyone again. It's me, Alex, VELAS CM. I hope you all are doing good. And today we have the best guest you can imagine. This is our CEO, yeah, Farkhad Shagulyamov. Uh, Hello, Farhad, once again. I hope you are doing good as well.
Hello, hello. Yeah, doing great. Good to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. I guess this will be on the regular basis from now on. Like maybe we will do the same stuff with Shirley, with Roma, and other guys quarterly, like every 3 months, maybe often, maybe. Well, let's see.
Y- Yeah, for sure. Whenever there's any questions or requests for community, we'll be happy to come into open communication to kind of share what we're doing. The fact that I've not been present in a lot of the chats is because I've been extremely busy working on developing the VELAS ecosystem
Yeah,
in
I
all
can imagine.
directions. So,
Well, I guess it's just the healthy relationships between the owners and the community. When once per 3 months, yeah, we just chat a bit and let guys know what's going on.
yeah, of course. I mean, we'll be happy to share. I mean, we view as the community should own the project, but we're definitely at the forefront of developing the ecosystem.
All right, guys. So I guess let's start with the questions. All the questions I have were done by the community. I mean, the community members presented it to me. So yeah, I made a small list. Just if the question is not there, sorry guys, but there were 200 questions, right? And yeah, I don't think Farhad will be very happy to answer all of them.
I mean, we can try to do as many as we can.
Yeah, well, it will not last so long, I promise. So let's start with the first one. So there were a lot of requests that we were told that BlueZilla is no longer an official partner of Wallace, but there was no official statement from us either. So
Right.
yeah, what's going on with BlueZilla?
I mean, everything stayed the same. We never had a formal partnership. So Bluezilla was just supporting Velas blockchain, and they launched the Velas pad and various projects. So everything is the same. We just never had a formal partnership. That's why legal just suggested that they take it off the website. But otherwise, the interest of them in our blockchain is the same, and nothing really changed.
All right. Next one is pretty interesting. Like, will Wallace cooperate with any nation, like national government, as some chains have done? Like Tezos made a partnership with Ukrainian government, I guess, and there were also a
Yes.
lot few news. So any plans on that?
So for sure, we're monitoring everything that's going on in the space. And since Velos technology is built out and ready for implementation, um, we are planning to not only speak to governments per se, but large institutions and large government entities to be able to use the Velos protocol. So definitely we are in talks. I can't tell you which governments or which companies just yet, but definitely the plan is to move further in big and heavy real life industries and demonstrate that blockchain technology can be efficiently used there.
All right, thanks. Question number three, I guess. So the number of commits by Wallace AG went down massively from 100, 300 daily commits in the second quarter two, of 2021 to a maximum of 60 so far in this year. So, and the question
Yes.
is this due to the war in Ukraine or why we have less and less commits
Yeah.
done by
So
our developers?
that's kind of easily explained. That has nothing to do with the war in Ukraine. This is simply because the commits you see in Q2 21 repositories, they include all the updates from the Solana repositories. Um, and this happens so when we pull the Solana and we make changes to our repo, the commit statistics will change once we implement them, but there's always a lag because whilst the Solana commits come in, then they get adapted to VELAS, um, put it on chain, and that's why you'll see the commits come in all at the same time, and they'll balance out.
Yeah, seems pretty, yeah, fair enough. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I mean, in Ukraine, it's very terrible what's going on. Obviously, we're very sad about this whole situation. But as you know, a lot of our development team was from Ukraine and is from Ukraine. But right now, a lot of the team members are out of Ukraine, and those that are still in Ukraine are in safe territories where there's no activities of war, and everybody's settled down and everybody's in work mode. So we're just hoping that everybody stays safe, and we try to support the team as much as we can down there.
yeah, and I can confirm that as a part of Ukrainian team. Next question asks that some of the original investors they are disappointed because they have supported for a long time and there is no visible update on the main products on what we have like BitOrbit, well as Vault and well as Account. Could you just get
Right.
a short update on these three products?
Yeah, so the update let's start with BitOrbit. So BitOrbit has been designated to a separate team. The active development of the actual technology is being built out. But right now there's a new separate team that's being formed, and they're preparing all their marketing materials, and they will start sharing all the updates of what's going on with the product. But it's something that we look with great interest at the development of, and hoping that this product will be delivered in the way that it was promised, and hopefully better, and that will better the whole ecosystem. So VELAS account right now is almost done. It's being tested on different sites and different resources. I guess there'll be much more updates coming from there as well once all the testing is done, and then we have a lot of use cases that are ready to use the VELAS account, and those updates will be coming in shortly. But it's a product that we're very excited about that works very fluidly. And then VELAS Vault, that's still being worked on. Development is actively going on, and it's in beta test now. So we're still testing, and updates are going to come in, and hopefully that product will materialize towards the end of the year.
All right, thank you Farhad for answering this. Next question is, yeah, so almost 8% of investors, they have focused on the price of the token in short term instead of understanding the real value of the project. And can you tell us what are the motivations and benefits for old investors, for new investors to hold the VELAS token for long term?
Right. So long term, we're building out an ecosystem. So we're not trying to do anything short term. That's why we really, the VELAS team took its time to build out the technology and the stability of the blockchain. And now is a time of growth and implementation. So we're trying to get our blockchain to be used by as many quality projects and with as much utility as possible. So we're positioning ourselves as the fastest EVM blockchain right now, and working with a lot of projects and trying to be really interoperable. So we're trying to partner with projects, with communities, with other blockchains to find mutually beneficial scenarios. As for the investors in VELAS, so VELAS, in the views of many, is still very, very much undervalued, as our ecosystem is young and is growing, but we have huge potential. First of all, because of our tech stack, we have a clear advantage in being the fastest EVM and truly cross-chain. And then in general, we're trying to align ourselves with big partnerships and go into vectors that we believe are going to perform very well in the next coming years. That's for us the NFT market, the DeFi market, the gamification, and esports in general. And obviously, the implementation of blockchain in real life use cases. So the Velas team is working very hard to enter different markets. With the NFT sector, we're entering motorsports quite heavily. After the Ferrari sponsorship, we got a lot of different brands, a lot of sports leagues that we're in active discussion with regarding NFT, fan tokens, and metaverse integration. So all these things are coming up, and we're trying to pack the Velas ecosystem with all the toolkits that are not there. So we're looking at all the top blockchains and different standards and protocols that they're using, and try to integrate similar solutions onto the Velas ecosystem. Um, so I think all these things are being actively worked on, and it's definitely something to watch out for uh, as integrations go live and the products start rolling out.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I guess with what you have said right now, you have also answered one more question from users as what is Lala's new CEO strategy to bring this blockchain to top 10 in next 5 years? I guess you have
Yeah.
already also answered this,
So
so
I
we
mean,
can
yeah.
move.
So that's the vision. So we're going. So first of all, Velas is positioning itself as well as a greener blockchain because we're proof of
Mhm.
stake, and then we're trying to get certified to be carbon neutral. We're really going into corporate worldwide because our blockchain is such high throughput and the transaction costs are so low that the blockchain can actually be implemented in real life industry at low cost, and that would make sense for large corporations. So we're trying to align ourselves with big players, with institutionals, and on the bottom end, leave open source technology for the world to build on.
Yeah, cool.
And as
Thank
well,
you.
I would
Right.
just like to add one thing that we're also looking to partner with other protocols and other chains and other communities because we're interoperable. Our vision is to be kind of chain agnostic, and there's a lot of benefits working with other chains because now Velas has bridges to all the large blockchains, and that cross funnels users and digital assets and gives mutual beneficial scenarios for the blockchains. So that's something we're actively working on as well.
Yeah, cool. This also answers one more question. If we are going to go like multi-chains, like the for partnerships and collaborations with other blockchains, so yeah, we are going to do that. So we
Yeah,
covered
we're in active discussions with some of the biggest players. Yeah.
we have covered Bluezilla. Also, one question which I see a lot as that Velas tokens, like Velas tokenomics, is inflationary, same as Solana, right?
Right.
But Solana did not release all the tokens at one time as we did. So why did Velas release all supply? And yeah, let's start here.
Well, I mean, inflationary, so we're not planning to change the model just yet. So Velas, like all proof of stake models, is an inflationary change. But our inflation has been going down every year. So we started with 8% inflation. It's been going down about 15% every year and going to do so. So compared to other proof of stake blockchains, we're still conservative considering the standards of the rates the other blockchains are using. So in that aspect, I don't see a big issue. And then what was the second part of the question?
Well, that was
Could you just repeat
actually
it?
yeah, that was actually it because the users think that the inflation and tokenomics is one of the main sources of FUD, right?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, this is the main part. You have covered
Well, I mean,
everything.
yeah. So compared to other POS blockchains, we're understanding and we're going down every year, and we're actively looking at possible scenarios to potentially someday change the model. But for now, we have not reached such consensus. So we're still looking at the market because we want to tread carefully.
Yeah, I agree. Next one. So some of the community members think that the company is not fully public and open enough. For example, not the whole team is named publicly on the website. which might not be beneficial for both Velas and its investors. How are you going to comment on this?
Well, it's pretty simple. The days of having your whole team public, I think that's way in the past, more
Mhm.
in the ICO stages when people are raising money. Velas is already an established company, an established ecosystem. The reason why we do not publish all our team members is very simple. First of all, it's for their security and also to prevent poaching from other companies, right?
Mhm.
Because we have very good developers and we have very good, very strong team in Velas that, first of all, we don't want other companies approaching them. And secondly, we're not actively raising funds for the company, and therefore this shouldn't be public, and then people shouldn't get harassed or so forth, right? There's certain
Yeah.
designated members that interact with community, that's support, that's high level management, that's marketing, community managers, and so forth. And I think through these channels and these people, enough information can be relayed that not every single member of the team should be accessible to the public.
Yeah, but even though we have LinkedIn, right, you can filter out LinkedIn and find the company, and you can find almost all people who work for us. It's not a tip, but still, for those who say we are not
Yeah,
public enough, we are.
I understand, but I don't think any big company or blockchain has all their staff public. I haven't seen. It's only the small startups that are
Yeah,
raising
yeah.
funds. Uh,
And they have
so
10
I think
people.
that's pretty much standard practice in the industry. Just we've grown to a level that we don't need to share that information.
Yeah, thank you. The next one is if there is going to, if we are going to have any partnership, or are we looking for the partnership with the loan dApps, right? So that they can move or implement Wellus, or just with any similar or innovative DeFi dApps. So
Yes.
are we searching such partnerships?
Yes, I mean, constantly we like to see a lot of different teams building different products, especially in the DeFi side. Um, I've had updates from our team that there's external teams that are finalizing a lot of new solutions. For example, I heard that there's a compound fork
Hmm.
that's about to be launched. There's I don't know if you guys heard of Valero DAO project where there's a
Yeah,
stable
sure.
coin
I had an
that you can
AMA
mint.
session with them.
Yeah, there's another external team that's building something like the Anchor protocol. Um, yeah, so I mean, we're more than happy to collaborate with different teams that are willing to take upon themselves the development. And Velas has different programs through which we can support development, being grant programs. We also have an ecosystem fund that's being set up right now. That's going to
Hmm.
be a closed end, $250 million ecosystem fund that will take equity positions in projects early stage that are being built on the Velas blockchain or somehow enhance the Velas ecosystem. So through these tools plus technical integration support and co-marketing, if the project enhances our ecosystem. So all these things are there available for developers and teams to come on board and build on Velas.
Yes. So guys, you're welcome to come and build something
Yeah,
on Wellus.
there's also a small update. I don't know if you guys saw. There's an integration for Velas multisig with Gnosis and VeloSafe that is also quite interesting tool for everybody.
Yeah, we saw it. We will publish it soon. I have like two more questions. Next one is, yeah, very popular, like when Binance, but yeah, I'm not talking about Binance, but I'm talking if we are searching for our way on the top exchanges.
Yes, so definitely. So Velas right now is looking to get into tier one exchanges. That's the focus for liquidity to attract better community. So we are in active discussions with most of the top tier exchanges. Um, Officially, I cannot share listing dates or anything like that, but we are in active discussions, and things are looking positive because Velas is growing as a brand and ecosystem, um, and a lot of the platforms would like to see us there.
Yeah, that's some great news. The last questions I have on the list. So, how Wellness will network will continue to improve its technology, and if we are limited to the current TPS, like, are we going higher or not?
Yeah, so the TPS definitely will be going higher as the hardware improves every year.
Mhm.
So definitely, there's going to be improvements on the blockchain side. But I mean, there's no real use cases just yet uh, to load our blockchain in such high frequency transactions. But hopefully, with these new large partnerships, we're going to get there and hopefully scale further and further. Um, our team is working very hard to develop all the products and to always better the stability of the blockchain, its security, upgrading the nodes, and just making the user interface in all the products much easier and simpler for people to use. So we're always trying to better that. We're trying to hopefully come with the new version of the wallet, which will have a lot of improvements. Um, yeah.
Yeah, that was also one of the questions, and as far as I know, we're currently working on the new version of the wallet, right? We are going to improve
Yes.
the UX.
Yes. So we're yeah. So there's going to be a lot of changes in the wallet, a lot of added functionality. Hopefully, it will be a much lighter wallet that will be working quicker, whilst
Mhm.
keeping all the security features that it already has. So we're very excited to share that with the community. Hopefully, very soon. The team is working very hard on that product to constantly make it better and to finally release the new version of the product.
Yeah, that's what I heard about. So thank you, Farhad, for answering these questions. Like that was it from my side. Probably you have 5 more minutes to speak with the community, and we will have some interesting questions from guys. So if you are okay with that, to stay here for 5 more minutes. Yeah, so
Yeah,
we can do some
sounds
questions
good.
here.
Sounds good.
All
Do you
right.
want me to just wait for
Cool.
5 minutes and get the questions in, or
I mean, there are people raising their hands in the chat, so yeah, I just unmute
okay?
them and let them speak. Cool.
Yeah,
So here
sounds
is
good.
Santiago. I'm unmuting
Hello,
him. I'll let
Santiago.
us. Yeah, Santiago, you
First of
can
all,
speak now.
thanks for doing this AMA. Really appreciate it. As a creator, I wanted to ask if you guys have been in contact with oracles, which can help improve and deliver more tools for developers in order to expand the ecosystem. Thank you very much.
Hi. Yeah.
I
So
can
for
cover that,
oracles,
guys.
yeah, you can tell them about Dia and so on. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Just wanted to say the same, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we've been speaking to several oracles, to three different oracles. Chainlink not being one of them because their integration times and the costs are extremely high and extremely lengthy. But we should the first one that should be coming online, I believe, is Dia. If our CTO will confirm that.
Yep.
So we have Dia, then we have in the pipeline or in integration Band and Teller. So three oracles.
And one of them is also the brand new one, the CryptoSat, which is based on the cosmic radiation. So this is like a new project that is also delivered the randomness to the chain, if we are talking about the random oracles.
Cool. I guess you have covered the question. Santiago, thank you for the question. Guys, Roman and Farhad, thank you for answering. Uh, any more questions? Raise your hand. I'm browsing through the chat. Like we are not going to wait for long here. All right, guys. If one more minute and no questions, yeah, we are going to
Sounds
finish
good. I
with the
mean, if
main.
there are questions, you can always put them in the main
Yeah,
chat,
that's one basically
or
what I'm
we can
basically
answer them via voice notes later on or something.
Yeah, even Roma has joined the session, so it's a good possibility to ask whatever you want, guys. Like these two guys can cover everything. That seems like that we're not going to have more questions, I guess.
Valero Dow has their hand up, they're raised.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see. Yeah, my bad. Thank you. Valero Dow unmuted now.
Hello, guys. Hello, Farhad. Hello, Roma. Hello, everyone from the VELAS team. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much for supporting and all of the stuff that you helped for us. Super appreciated about that. Guys, just a quick question regarding VeguSwap. When it will be possible to see all of the statistics on the VeguSwap pages regarding the USDV token and the VDGT token? Thank you.
I guess,
I guess
thank you
that's
for
a
the
question to
question,
the
but
Wagyu team.
that's not very VELAS related. Yeah. I wish I could answer that. I really don't know. I suggest you contact the Wagyu team for them to help you with
Okay.
the answer. But very, very happy with the Valero project in general. And I suggest to all our users who haven't went on the platform yet to check it out. So it's a very good solution for the VELAS ecosystem.
Thank you,
All
Farhad.
right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Thank you for answering. We have one more guy.
If possible. There's like a lot of rumors or chatter going around like about VELAS with Amazon Web Services. Could you guys I don't know, throw some hints in there, or are we all putting like some tinfoil hats or something? Are we going down the wrong route?
No. On the contrary, we're trying not to use Amazon services or Amazon Cloud. So I don't know where those rumors came from, but we're not doing anything with Amazon or Amazon Cloud. So I guess those were just rumors.
Yeah, we had one more guy to speak. John Dow, you're unmuted. You can speak now. John, I have unmuted you.
Yeah, hello.
Hi there.
Yeah, just a quick question. Can you elaborate more on the VELAS collaboration with Ferrari?
Yeah, sure. So VELAS has a partnership with Ferrari that is multi-layered. So at first glance, we're the sponsors of Ferrari Formula One team, and we're the title sponsors and partners of Ferrari Esports. So the partnership goes from one part is the branding and the exposure for VELAS to be on the cars and on all the merchandise and so forth, which kind of gives us a big boost in terms of our branding and our positioning. But really, there's a lot of vectors that we're exploring with Ferrari, and that's including NFTs in many different variations, possibility of doing fan token, and using the VELAS blockchain in the processes of actual development and the Ferrari supply chain and things like that. And also, we're speaking with the sales teams around to see potentially how we can help them reach their fans in different ways, because not only with them, but in general, after we signed that deal, we have a lot of other companies and projects and so forth coming want Velas's support and help to kind of take on the NFT and metaverse side, and that's something we are actively pursuing and exploring further. But the way we want to have real uses for the NFTs. So the NFTs are written in such a way they can later be deployed into games, into esports, into different metaverses, and bring these engagement and these experiences to people, fans, and users all around the world. And we're trying to partner up with big gaming companies to support us in this endeavor.
Thank you, Farhad. I guess that was it. We do not have any more questions. Everything was covered, I guess. So once again, thank you guys for being here. It was the AMA session with Farhad, CEO of VELAS. Also, Roman Cherednik has joined us as CTO of VELAS. Farhad and Roma, thank you for speaking here. Thank you for covering a lot of topics. I am happy to have you here, and I will be happy to speak with you in the future.
Sounds good. Thank you very much for organizing this. Thanks everybody who tuned in and everybody who's going to listen after. Thank you guys for supporting the VELAS team and our ecosystem.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
We're working very hard to deliver and take VELAS to the next level. All right, take care. All the best, guys.
Yeah, see ya. Bye.